Toss, and we'll start with the football, and they are quarterbacked by Emory Beckett out of Lakeway, Texas, 17 years old, and on her first pass attempt, she whips it out to Caitlin Reynolds on the far sideline to get things going. An all-Texas connection right there. Emory Beckett from Lakeway, Caitlin Reynolds hailing from Cedar Park, Texas, 16 years old and one of the most dynamic weapons in all of women's flag football and USA football. As there's a fake handoff to McKenna Cook, and Beckett targeting Reynolds again as the throw was on target, but she can't hang on.
Tough break right there. You needed that. That would have given you a 3rd and short to convert the first down. So you hate that. A little bit more work cut out for you here if you're Team USA.
On 3rd down, incomplete again, but a flag flies in. That one was intended for Haley Morgan, and she took some heavy contact there at the end.
Yeah, Valeria Rodriguez, or excuse me, Sahara Cruz. You got to know right there, you got the U.S. kind of where you want them in a 3rd and long situation. You can't bail them out by getting too physical. Just get in there and make the breakup. As we look at it right here, throws the football, and then she put a little bit of extra on. I mean, she threw on the ground. That one was pretty obvious right there. Now the U.S. is back in business with a first down and not many yards to go before they get a first down potentially.
Trishelle Touquet to snap it. Morgan and Reynolds lined up to the far side of the field. McKenna Cook alone to the near side. Beckett under pressure, pump fakes twice. It's an incomplete pass as the pressure came quickly from Andrea Quintanar.
And football can be so situational. You don't want to say that that's what would have happened had the last play not been a penalty. But, man, you can't help but think of what could have been had you not gotten a penalty right there. You could be having a football starting with a possession 0-0 if you're Mexico.
Line of scrimmage to 20.
Excuse me.
5 yards to midfield and a first down. Beckett wants more than that. Great hands catch by McKenna Cook for a United States first down to the 17-yard line.
All right, if you go back, look at the replay right there. She kind of waits, and McKenna pops open. Right, McKenna Cook pops open just at the last minute to be able to secure that catch, and she lets you know she got a first down.
Trips wide receivers to the near side, and Beckett finds a crossing Haley Morgan from Vernon, Connecticut.
Brings up second down.
For a completion that'll bring up second down. Haley Morgan, 5'2", 16 years old, won gold medals at both the 2023 and 24 Junior International Cup with the 15U girls squad. Returned last year to claim her 3rd gold medal with the 17U team, and she's back here again looking for number 4. Here's Beckett on second down. Has time. Back corner of the end zone, and somehow Caitlin Reynolds ends up wide open for a touchdown. 6-0 USA.
Busted coverage by Team Azteca right there. As the U.S., they're able to find the receiver in the end zone. As we look at the replay here,
Number 9, Emory Beckett.
And she's just sitting there. There was certainly some confusion back there by Azteca as Caitlin Reynolds is the beneficiary.
Bunch formation on the conversion attempt. And there's the center, Trishelle Touquet. Stops, turns, and receives a pass from Beckett with open arms. 7-0, Team USA.
All right, so there you go right there. Team Azteca kind of bailed Team USA out right there, gave them a penalty that kind of changed the complexion of that drive. Now Azteca, their chance to respond.
And on first down, here comes Team Azteca led by Azul Trujillo. Back for another year as the signal caller. She's certainly impressed in this event last year. Made a lot of plays to get her team to the gold medal match and ultimately a gold medal win. The runners up, I should say. And now on second down, new line of scrimmage is the 12-yard line. Overloaded to the far side. Trujillo, deep ball, perfect spiral, but just a bit too much. Looking for Valentina Rico.
Rico had a step on her defender right there from Team USA Football. Tessa Russell had a step, maybe just a little bit off of that, and it hits there. But missed opportunity for sure. As we look at the replay, Tries to go deep right there on a post route. Just a little bit too far.
10 minutes on the clock, according to the near side judge. Now inside of 10 to play. Trujillo this time connects with Rico. And Rico stopped just short of midfield.
Fourth down. Fourth to midfield.
Thought she ran out of bounds just short for a moment, but it looks like the flag was pulled by number 3, Ariana Karastanovic.
Well, 4th and 1, tackle or flag, your best is required right here. I'm going to be interested to see how Team USA tries to defend this. Do they put everyone up on the line of scrimmage to try to stop something short? Or do they just play it regular and maybe kind of give them the first down?
There's Trujillo on 4th down. Quick hitter across midfield, complete to Ariana Herrera for an Azteca first down. Well designed, well executed play, absolutely.
Yeah, nice play call for him right there. Able to snap the ball, get a quick hitter. That's all you need to do right there, 4th and 1. Don't make it complicated.
You see out there for the U.S. defense, Ariana Karastanovic, they call her AK. Tessa Russell, as well as Trishelle Touquet. Number 8, Isla Collins, is hovering around the line of scrimmage, and Haley Morgan out there as well. Trujillo, a dart down the middle, knocked away, nearly intercepted. Ariana Karastanovic back in coverage, playing center field, closes the gap and knocks it away.
Now I'm wondering what's the line here, because we've seen plays like this called as unsportsmanlike conduct for too much contact. We saw that called early on Team Azteca, so I'm wondering right there why no flag on that one as well, because I did think that the flag was going to come out right there. But, hey, the referee made the judgment call, felt like it wasn't.
There's Trujillo on 2nd down. She's sacked. Trishelle Touquet, the pass rush specialist, brings up 3rd down. She drops the Azteca offense back near midfield. The ball will be spotted at the 24-yard line.
And this is certainly getting them behind the chains right there. Team Azteca still had a decent distance to go to be able to try to score, but now after that sack, they've got a long way to go. This Team USA defense is certainly feeling it. They are amped up to try to get a stop.
Collins and Touquet raise their hands, both coming under pressure. Wobbly duck down the middle, tipped up in the air and falls incomplete. A diving Tessa Russell nearly got there for the pick.
And the U.S. coming with a double rush right there, because they know that Team Azteca wants to do a little bit of 2 quarterback play, so they apply pressure to both. Forced a tough throw, tip pass, could have been intercepted. The U.S. defense, they are hot right now. Let's see if they can continue this through a 4th down, force a turnover on downs, and get the ball back to this explosive offense.
Ariana Herrera takes the snap this time. Trying to run away from Touquet. Buys herself some time. Fluttering ball to the goal line. But Caitlin Reynolds there to slap it away. Incomplete and a turnover on downs. The United States leading 7-0. Get their first stop of the game defensively. And they get the football back.
And they've got to figure out this U.S. rush, because they were coming right there. She was able to almost get that. Trishelle Touquet being a menace at that pass rush position.
Here's Emory Beckett on 1st down.
Pass complete to number 14.
So a crossing Caitlin Reynolds. Nice job by Beckett to change her arm angle there and deliver a strike. She led Caitlin Reynolds perfectly. And it's a gain of about 11 yards. Brings up 2nd down. Trishelle Touquet to snap it. Caitlin Reynolds is out there along with Haley Morgan, McKenna Cook, and Emory Beckett checking her wristband. 5:55 on the clock and rolling. Beckett sliding left, finding Morgan out across the 20. And stopped at the 21.
Pass complete to number 4.
And Emory Beckett, who won gold medals in 2023 and 24 with the 15U U.S. girls team. She also added a 3rd gold medal last year with the 17U squad, back again this year. She actually played tackle football until 7th grade before focusing on basketball, then joining the Texas Fury. They won the Oakley Icon Alliance earlier this year as Beckett with a strike to Touquet. deep into enemy territory inside the 5-yard line.
And Emory Beckett, she is hanging in that pocket until the last minute that she can. But you see 2K running a nice corner route right there, snatches it up. Now the U.S. is in prime position to be able to put some more points on the board.
Emory Beckett, so impressive throwing the football. I was listing off her credentials a minute ago. Also worth noting that she's been playing flag football for 5 years, won an NFL flag national championship in Canton, Ohio last year. And as I mentioned, the Oakley Icon Alliance earlier this year in February is Caitlin Reynolds outrunning the defense to the front pylon for a touchdown.
Caitlin Reynolds right there. She takes the handoff and uses her explosive athleticism to be able to beat the defender to the pylon. That's what it is. When you get the ball in that position, it's a race to the pylon. Look at it right there. She gets the ball, gives a quick little juke to buy herself that extra half second to get there before the defender does.
Madison Fulford of the U.S. women's national team told me 2 years ago, keep an eye on Caitlin Reynolds. And there she is again. Secures it, extra point good. And the U.S., as we've seen for 3 straight games here on Championship Sunday, sprints out to an early 14-0 lead.
Yeah, here we go now. Which way will it go? The last game was a blowout. The first game of the day ended up being a classic. So which way will it go, KB?
Here's Trujillo on first down, finding Michaela Martinez out beyond the 10-yard line. Actually, they're going to call that incomplete.
Must have dropped it right at the last second. It looked like a catch at first, but
ball remains at the 5-yard line. Here's second down. Trujillo throwing on the move. Whips it out to Jessica Manriquez.
This U.S. defense, they're just matching up, and they look like that they're just ready for everything that Team Azteca is throwing at them. It seems like that they are in sync, and they are just right on par with what Azteca wants to do. Even when they do make receptions, they're not getting much after it.
Just like that, already third down for Azteca. Manriquez snaps it to Trujillo. Trujillo up the middle, but knocked away, and a flag flies in late, and Ariana Karastanovic, you said a couple of minutes ago you were surprised she wasn't whistled for contact. That time it appears she was.
That's a tough call right there. The offensive player was already headed towards the ground. She just stepped in to knock the ball away. You're going to look on this replay right here. The quarterback lets the ball go. I mean, that is a tough call right there. I mean, maybe a get-back call from the earlier one that maybe they missed, but that one right there, ooh, that's a tough one to swallow if you're Team USA's defense.
Certainly to the benefit of Azteca as they have a fresh set of downs. First down from the 20. Trujillo completes for a first down, and a great job by Camila Gomez.
Great sideline awareness by Gomez as well. She was right up against that sideline. She knew she didn't have any more room. She planted those 2 feet right there and said, if I'm going to make the catch, I'm going to make it stationary just like this. And that's exactly what she did. Great awareness by her.
High-level execution from Azteca as they are down 14-0 and desperately need a score to stay in this game. 2-minute warning. And we go to a pro clock. Trujillo, pressure coming, just gets it off and completes along the near sideline.
Each of these quarterbacks, man, they hang in there till the last possible second to be able to get the football off. But that's part of being a quarterback. That's what you have to do. People talk about in the tackle game, hanging in there with the pass rush bang down on you. You know you're going to take a hit, but you got to let the ball go. That's what these ladies are doing out here right now. They're hanging in the pocket until they cannot anymore.
Great job by Valentina Rico to secure the catch, and there's a race to the end zone. But the flag was pulled by Isla Collins as Ariana Herrera hit sixth gear maybe trying to get to that pylon. But a great angle by Isla Collins to stop her at the 1. Still 2 downs to go here for Azteca. Will they need them both? Bunch formation from the 1. Trujillo drifting left. Flips it to Manriquez for an Azteca touchdown.
Nice job right there. They didn't try to complicate it too much. They've got some sellies of their own. We see that bunch formation, takes it from under center, and then just a nice little shovel pass right there once everything clears out for Team Azteca right there.
Team Azteca faithful in the stands, blowing the horns. What do we call those things? Are those vuvuzelas or is that something else?
I'm not sure. I'd love to get your kids some, though.
Please don't. And on the conversion attempt, an errant throw intended for Herrera, and the score remains 14-6. The United States lead has been cut to 8.
All right, but your defense, we've seen this critical time coming up at the end of the half. A minute 21 is more than enough time for Team USA to be able to strike. So Team Azteca has to be careful right here. They've got to get a stop. Can't afford to have any lapses on D.
That play was whistled dead as it got started. Penalty flag flies in. That's going to be an offside called against Azteca. So an extra 5 yards gifted to the U.S. offense.
5-yard penalty.
Andrea Quintanar with her hands up asking what happened. Multiple defenders, in fact. But it's a 5-yard penalty, still first down. Trishelle Touquet to snap it to Emery Beckett. Morgan, Reynolds, and McKenna Cook on the field as well. Beckett looking for Cook. Again, another smooth hands catch by McKenna Cook along the near sideline.
Second down.
Brings up second down.
One of the top stars at quarterback in flag football when you look online and look at the clips, but she's getting it done at wide receiver out here for Team USA football today. But she's one of the more prolific young quarterbacks in the sport.
From Costa Mesa, California, 17 years old, 5 feet 9 inches, great height and length at the wide receiver position. Joshua Saunders is looking for an opportunity to use her in the red zone at some point as Caitlin Reynolds hauls in a strike from Emery Beckett across midfield and down to the 21-yard line of Azteca.
I think one of the big things that we've seen here is that Team USA, just across the board from each team that we've seen today, lots of versatility in the weapons they deploy. Lots of people that they can go to, where we've seen with some of the other countries, they have 1, maybe 2 playmakers that they really try to focus on. But each of these teams, including this one, just so many people you have to worry about trying to stop.
First and goal rather. Cook with her 3rd catch of the day. Turns and charges inside the 10-yard line. 2 penalty flags hit the field as well. That's going to be a defensive penalty against Azteca, according to the near side judge.
You are Team Azteca. You can't afford to give the U.S. anything. They're going to take enough from you. You can't afford to give penalties. You can't afford to make mistakes like that. That's the thing. You know that a perfect game is impossible. It's just not going to be able to happen. But you want to try to limit as much as you can as far as being able to give them opportunities. You just give them an automatic first down right there with a team that is this, just prolific. You're giving them 4 downs to score from the 3-yard line. You almost feel like it's a formality.
And Team Azteca with a great response on their previous offensive possession, their first touchdown to make it an 8-point game, but the United States on the verge of pushing this lead back to double digits. Here's Beckett after the illegal contact penalty on first down. Spikes it and will live to play another down. Good coverage that time by Azteca. Azteca does have great length on their secondary.
Yeah, they do. And you need that against a team like USA because they have definitely size and athleticism out there at the wide receiver post.
Size is not always the ultimate determining factor in flag football, but when you have athletes with size and speed and quickness,
yes,
you have typically a sizable advantage over most of the teams that you'll play.
Certainly.
And a timeout taken by the United States. We'll, of course, keep it right here. 56 seconds on the clock here in the first half. So both teams will talk things over. Kyle Bailey, Wes Bryant with you here live on Home Team Network. Game number 3 of the Junior International Cup. Back-to-back gold medal matches here on a Sunday afternoon. The United States has already cashed in 2 gold medals. Looking for number 3 right here. Both the 15U boys and girls winning gold today. The women defeating Panama. And in the previous game, the United States 15-year-old boys absolutely hammering Japan to the tune of 49-18. bit tighter game here late in the first half in game number 3. But much like previous iterations of these gold medal games, we have seen the United States with late scores in the first half to take double-digit leads into halftime. We'll see if the 17-year U girls can do the same. Here's Beckett. Looking for McKenna Cook at the goal line. I think she had her initially, Wes, but waited just a bit too long.
Yeah, Beckett right now, as this field has now condensed to, being inside of the 5, it looks like she's really struggling to figure out some reads. She had Cook open on an earlier play where Cook threw her hands up immediately. She waited a little bit too long. She's got to be able to process things a bit quicker and get the football out.
Here's Beckett on third down. Tries to thread the needle into Haley Morgan. Deflected through the back of the end zone, but another penalty flag comes in and another defensive mistake by Azteca.
Yeah, and again, if you're Team Azteca, you've got yourself in an interesting position because you've got Team USA kind of trying to figure this thing out because from the quarterback position, again, she's just waiting and waiting and waiting. And in this area of the field, you can't afford to wait. The zone was able to converge. She tried to throw it into that window, but the defender kind of played some help defense, came out of her area to be able to knock that down. You got to be able to process this thing in just a couple of short seconds to figure out where you want to go with the football. You've got plenty of options to go to. Just kind of know where you want to go with the football and fire it in there. You don't have a lot of time to be able to just hang out and wait.
It's first down again as Beckett fakes the handoff to Haley Morgan coming in motion. And Beckett takes a knee.
Timeout.
Now a timeout taken by Azteca, so you can see the strategy here by the United States. With 42 seconds left to go, each team only gets 2 timeouts. That defensive penalty gave the United States a first down. And so now they can, in theory, do what Emory Beckett just did a couple of times, take a knee on the football, milk the clock down, and run the final play of the half if they so choose. And now with second down coming up, the U.S. back in a spread formation. Here's Beckett. Looking for Reynolds, clear eyes, full heart, can't lose, Texas forever. From Lakeway to Cedarwood, an all-Texas connection for a U.S. touchdown.
Well, look at that, KB. As we go back and look at the replay, the U.S. chooses to spread them out. And this, again, just a lapse in coverage by Team Azteca. You can't get more open than that. Back of the end zone, nobody there.
Emory Beckett showing off the arm. Caitlin Reynolds, one of the most dynamic and reliable weapons for the United States women. Another touchdown. And now here's the conversion attempt up top to McKenna Cook, and she can't quite haul it in.
Yeah, just a little bit too high. She tried to go up and get that with one hand, but even with 2, she still would have had a hard time bringing that one in.
20.
Tough pass right there. But if you're Azteca, you've got some time here.
We're being told by the head officials 38 seconds remaining here in the first half. It's 20-6.
Yeah, that's enough time here. What will they choose to do? How will they attack this drive?
Azteca overloads the formation, trips wide receivers to the far side. But Trujillo comes to the near side to Jessica Manriquez. And a nice gain on first down out to the 13-yard line. Coming up at halftime, the director of the high-performance national team, Callie Brownson, will join us on set. She's hanging out. She doesn't look nervous. She'll talk to us at halftime about the first half of action and what to expect in the second half. And, of course, the growth of flag football, the success of USA football in the event this week. We'll get to a lot with Callie Brownson coming up at the half. But right now, we'll see what Azteca can manage. On second down, Trujillo, a strike to Ariana Herrera, who is stopped just short of midfield.
And if you're Azteca right here, you got some good momentum going. You picked up a good amount of yards in these first 2 plays. So now you've got to go into your bag. What have you got that can really try to throw this U.S. team off and get you a score before the half? Because if you can do that, if I'm not mistaken, Mexico, they did not get the ball to start the game. So you're able to potentially get a double dip here. So you got to try to take full advantage of this if you can.
Yvonne Mendez, head coach of Azteca, calling a timeout there to talk things over. Now with 28 seconds left, here comes third down. Again, trips wide receivers to the far side of the field. Trujillo just gets rid of it, coming near side, but that one,
Pass complete.
well, they called it complete. No, they're going to reverse that call, and rightly so.
Yeah, she had half a foot out of bounds right there. I saw once again to see if she was going to try to get those feet right up against the sideline like she did before, but she wasn't able to pull that one off.
Camila Gomez, who made a great catch along the far sideline just a little while ago, unable to keep her feet in bounds on that attempt. And so now 4th down, just inside of midfield. Still in a good position from a field, I should say good field position still, if they can convert right here. 24 seconds on the clock. Here comes Trishelle 2K. Trujillo gets rid of it to Gomez. Gomez inside the 20. And more contact there at the end from Ariana Karastanovic. And right there you saw Ariana Herrera begging for the flag, and the head official, albeit late, gives it to them.
And the ref nearest to the play, he didn't throw his flag at first. And so I was wondering, was this going to be a play that once again was going to be overlooked? But it was not to be. She completes the pass for the first down right there on the sideline, but then a little bit of extra. So, you know, for Azteca's mistakes and giving the U.S. a little bit of extra yardage with their penalties, the U.S. kind of makes a critical mistake right here and puts Azteca in a position with 14 seconds to go, ball at the 9-yard line, where they can put a dent in this lead.
They should have at least multiple shots at the end zone. And there's a quick hitter to Jessica Manriquez. And a great job by Manriquez to get out of bounds, stepping just inside the 5 down to the 4-yard line. And that stops the clock at 11 seconds, so only 3 ticks off the clock for that play.
Great awareness right there by the receiver to get out of bounds, help her team out as they get closer and closer to the end zone.
And they'll officially spot it at the 5. So Mendez, sending his team out with a new play. Valentina Rico in the slot. Gomez split out wide. Going up top, climbing the ladder, touchdown Azteca. Jessica Manriquez, the route specialist, puts 6 on the board for Azteca. It's 20-10 with the extra point coming up. And Wes, you called it 20-12, I should say. That's a big score for Azteca.
It's huge. You get trips to the right there, and they decide to flood that defensive formation. The U.S., she hits the intermediate out route there. Team Azteca, big play.
1-point conversion. They go right back to the front pylon, but this time it's Herrera with the grab. We're back to a 7-point game, folks. 20-13 with 7 seconds left to go here in the first half.
And what a play right there. What a drive by Team Azteca. They didn't let what the U.S. was doing bother them, and they remained poised, and it paid off with a big-time touchdown and conversion before the half. If I'm right here, I don't have anybody close to the line. I'm playing everybody deep to try to stop this team from trying to go and get points before the half.
Emory Beckett rifles one to the near sideline looking for McKenna Cook. Cook made a great effort but can't bring it in. And the clock stops with 3 seconds, so this should be the last play of the first half. If you're the United States here, do you try to run a play? Do you take a knee and go into the break with a 7-point lead? Wes, what are you doing right here?
I probably, if my quarterback has enough arm, I maybe get it down, but it looks like they're going to down this thing.
Well, maybe not. It's a handoff to Haley Morgan. She's going to run out the clock here in the first half. Flag was pulled by Andrea Quintanar. And that'll do it. The first 20 minutes are in the books. The United States leads, not by as much as they'd hoped to, I'm sure. It's 20-13. A late score by Azteca, West, has made this a brand new ball game.
No doubt about it. I can't wait to see what this second half has in store. If your team Azteca, you have seized the momentum here. You get the football coming back out, so you got to be feeling great with the way that the U.S. has been able to come out and show their explosiveness, but you're still right here and an opportunity to tie the game, maybe even take the lead when we return.
Callie Brownson, USA Football Director of High Performance for the national teams, will stop by during the half. It's 20-13, the United States. advantage here in the 17U women's gold medal game. Right.
And also, like I said, this is a resilient bunch, man. They just kept on fighting because a lot of times when you come out and play against a team that's looked at as a juggernaut like these U.S. squads, and they come out and hit you with a couple of big plays early, it's easy to get rattled and maybe not play your game. But we see that Team Azteca did not get rattled, and they come out and they just keep on fighting.
20 minutes on the clock, and 20 minutes to go in pursuit of gold. Team Azteca trailing by 7, and that was potentially disastrous as we had a late collision there. Trujillo and Trishelle Touquet. As Touquet is now on the turf trying to get up, but being told by the training staff and the head official to stay on the ground. Azul Trujillo is clutching her face, I believe her nose and mouth. As we'll take a look at the replay here in just a moment. They're on first down. Trujillo looked like she had spotted where she wanted to go with the football, but that collision caused it to float up in the air.
It looks like maybe if we get a chance to see it again, was there a cleat to the face maybe?
Trujillo is being tended to as well. It looks like Trishelle Touquet is in a bit more pain out there, obviously, with 2 trainers and a coach around her at the moment.
All right, here we go. Here's a look at the play here. We go back. She comes in with the blitz.
I'm not sure
what. It's not a cleat.
No.
It just looked like the back of her body, maybe as she kind of wrapped around to finish up that play, and maybe her face just got hit.
You can tell that Azul Trujillo, I don't think that's pain. I think she's showing real concern for what happened to Trishelle Touquet.
Yeah, I noticed that immediately when she saw that, and I saw her reaction. I said, man, that must be much worse than we thought.
Trishelle Touquet is standing up. They're still huddled around her. She is covering her face as she walks off the field. And of course, our foremost concern is for her well-being. Trishelle Touquet is one of the most dynamic, reliable, committed members of USA football, and we're being told that she caught an elbow to the nose.
All right, we're going to get one more look at that. We see it dropping back.
And there it was,
you could see it, yep. As she let the football go, the elbow caught her right in the nose as she released it right there. And also, just talking from an on-field standpoint, Trishelle Touquet was having a big impact on this game offensively and defensively as a rusher. So who will step in and fill her shoes, because she's probably not going to be able to make it back by the time this game is over with.
Play resumes, and on second down, there's a strike to number 7, Michaela Martinez. Martinez ushers the Azteca offense out to the 14-yard line. That'll bring up third down. Ariana Karastanovich, Caitlin Reynolds, Tessa Russell, Giovanna Gambino, and Isla Collins, the 5 defenders on the field for the United States. Here's Trujillo throwing on the run, up top. And too strong as Tessa Russell was in coverage.
Now fourth down for Team Azteca right here. This is a huge play in this game, because if you're Team Azteca, you want to be able to convert this and get down and make good and finish up being able to double dip, so to speak, scoring at the end of the half and scoring right now. You don't want to squander it and give the USA the ball back.
Ariana Herrera lining up in the backfield for a potential lateral, but Trujillo going to Jessica Manriquez, and I don't think Manriquez got there, but the penalty flag might be the boost they need.
Wow, that's a big call right there against Team USA. And we've seen these referees, they've had a little bit of trouble with some of the discernment of that particular call as well. You know, what is too much contact and what is contact that just happens to be incidental?
We'll take a look at the replay here. Manriquez makes the grab. Reynolds was there along the sideline, and I guess
illegal contact.
In real time, it might have looked like a shove there at the end. Caitlin Reynolds certainly doesn't feel like she did anything wrong, but the near side judge disagreeing. Illegal contact, 10-yard penalty, and an automatic first down for Team Azteca. Joshua Saunders, the head coach of the U.S. women's team, is still asking questions of the head official. Would like more of an explanation, but he won't get one as play resumes. First down from the 17. Trujillo fires to Herrera down to the 5-yard line.
Nice catch right there. As we go back and look at the replay. Nice out route to the sideline. 2 levels of receiver right there, but she's able to break open, make the grab.
Trujillo's not the biggest athlete, nor does she have the biggest arm, but she does a great job setting her feet to put as much behind that ball as she can.
She certainly does. She's been effective for this team as she continues to lead them on this drive.
Twins wide receivers to the top of the field, and that's where they go with the football. Touchdown, Jessica Manriquez.
And that is one heck of a catch right there. As we go back and look at the replay, we will see as the receiver was coming out of the break, she trips on her feet as she's running that out route, but she's able to recover, has the awareness to see the football coming in, and she makes the grab. Kyle Bailey, put your seatbelt on, big fella, because we're about to have ourselves one heck of a game going down the stretch.
Jessica Manriquez, tough to cover, and there's a high snap and a blown opportunity by Team Azteca with the chance to tie it up. The snap sails over the head of Azul Trujillo, and the score remains 20-19.
And that's tough right there. You never know how those conversions may affect the game right there. That 1 point could be the difference.
Here we go. The United States holding on to a 1-point lead. As Beckett fires it out to Reynolds. Pass complete for a gain of 6. We'll call it 7 as the ball spotted at the 12-yard line.
Arm strength will certainly have to be on display here with this these gusts of wind, Kyle Bailey.
Now tight formation here this time as Beckett goes to Reynolds again, and Reynolds can't quite get away from Herrera, who's out there playing both ways in the second half. Natalie Fisher into the game as Trishelle Touquet doesn't look like she's going to return to action here. We can't say that with 100% certainty, but she's standing on the far near sideline with an ice bag on her face after catching an elbow just a couple of minutes ago. So Fisher's out there this time in the slot. Beckett finds Fisher inside the 20-yard line, but they're going to call it incomplete as Fisher's, I believe, right foot is out of bounds along the near sideline.
Less than 10 minutes remaining.
Under 10 to go here. Take a look. Pretty tight shot right there, but again, Natalie Fisher out of bounds upon making that catch.
All right, big 4th down here. Here we go, KB. This is seemingly an easy conversion.
The U.S. needs 3 yards to keep the drive alive. It's a dump off to Haley Morgan. Doesn't get much. It's just enough for a Team USA first down.
Number 4, Haley Morgan.
Right there, she runs that in-breaking route over the middle of the field, and she's able to jump up and make that catch. When you gotta have it, you gotta have it, and the U.S. got it.
First down and goal. The 24-yard line, the United States taking their time offensively. Here comes Quintanar. Beckett up top to a wide open Natalie Fisher, with the throw just off the mark, incomplete.
And that is one that the U.S. may be looking at there. Man, almost had a shot to be able to get that. It doesn't get any more open than that as we look at it.
Great route run by Natalie Fisher. Got that
corner route right there by Natalie Fisher, but not able to put it on the money.
Here comes Quintanar again. Beckett standing tall, delivers a strike to Reynolds. Reynolds fighting for the far sideline, steps inside the 10, down to the 9. Nice pickup on second. And now it's 3rd down and goal from inside the 10-yard line. And again, on the field for the U.S., it's McKenna Cook, Natalie Fisher, Haley Morgan, and Caitlin Reynolds, with Beckett running the show. Let's see where Beckett goes with the football. Finds McKenna Cook for a touchdown in the front of the end zone. And McKenna Cook with the celly, as the kids say.
making her presence felt right there with that dig route over the middle, and she catches it, and she's definitely a player that's gonna show that emotion on the field as we go back and look at the replay. Now right there, I like the processing going on right there by Beckett. She was very decisive in where she wanted to go with the ball. She knew she was gonna have Cook coming open on that dig, and she got it as they convert right there as well.
And once again, Caitlin Reynolds finding herself wide open in the back corner of the end zone as we saw in the first half. The extra point's good. And the U.S. extends the lead to 8. Big conversion right there for the United States. As Azteca had cut the lead to 1 with a touchdown on their previous possession. They failed to convert on a botched snap. And the U.S. put 7 on the board to make it an 8-point game. And on first down, Trujillo trying to get it all back. Deep down the middle of the field for Camila Gomez, but incomplete.
And if your team Azteca, don't try to get too, worry about trying to get it all back in one play. Just take your time, get down the field. You've been able to move the football on this USA team pretty much most of this game. So there's nothing that should intimidate you. There's nothing that should surprise you about this U.S. defense.
Second down. Herrera moving across the field, makes the grab on the far sideline.
And don't look now, Kyle Bailey. Trishelle 2K is right back out there.
Look at her.
After suffering that injury earlier, so glad to know that that nose doesn't look like it's broken.
What a tough young lady.
She just, took a shot there. So she is right back out here, ready to rock and roll and continuing to be a menace from that rusher position.
Here's Trujillo, and Chouquet coming on strong, nearly gets there, but a dart from Trujillo to Gomez sets up 4th down and short for Azteca, but that was a big play for the Mexican squad to make this 4th down attempt much more manageable.
No doubt about it. And right here, again, let's not try to get too ahead of ourselves. You only need a few yards. Let's get some short routes going. Let's find it.
Chouquet still out there, and it's a completion across midfield down to the 20-yard line.
What a catch by Michaela Martinez, because I thought that she was about to drop that. She catches it falling down. I thought that that might end up being a turnover for him, but she's able to hold on to it. That's a player that understands, hey, I've got to be able to come through with a huge play for my team, and that's exactly what she did.
Great effort by Martinez, and here we go. Team Azteca trips wide receivers to the near side this time. Trujillo, and again, dumping it off to Jessica Manriquez. We've seen a ton of that today. That trips wide receiver formation that clears out room for Jessica Manriquez to work.
Yeah, and I like that. It's a great concept because you distract the defense. Anything you can do to manipulate the eyes of the defense, and you're able to get her open, get some more yardage, because again, you have 4 downs to be able to score. So just continue to just chip away at it, then get yourself in a position. You'd ideally like to have 2 downs, probably within 10 yards to be able to score. I think that's the best position an offense could be in on a drive.
There's Trujillo, another completion. Back to Camila Gomez this time, brings up 3rd down, but she moves inside the 10. Ball spotted at the 8. I will call it the 9.
3rd and goal.
That official signaling 3rd and goal. Approaching 4 minutes to play, a critical possession for Team Azteca. And you and I have had a lot of conversations about chasing points so far today. If we're looking ahead, if they score a touchdown here.
I think you're in a position where you got to go for 2 right here.
I agree.
I think you have to try to do it.
Here's Trujillo. Did she get rid of it? She does, just in time, on target. Chapter and verse, another one to Jessica Manriquez.
You talk about a timing route right there. She held on to it because she knew her receiver was going to be where she needed to be. As we go back and look at this replay, 2 out routes at 2 different levels there. And she's able to run right under that ball. I mean, that is timing at its finest. She threw the football, the receiver ran right under it. She threw to a spot and not to a player.
That's what makes her so impressive, is they will, in fact, go for 2 here. Trips wide receivers again. It's picked off in the end zone by Caitlin Reynolds. And Caitlin Reynolds has a knack for making plays in the end zone, this time defensively.
All right, so if you are Team Azteca right here, 256, your defense, hey, this is it. You've got to be able to get a stop right here. If you're Team USA, the objective here is to end the game. go down and score in this game. You score and get a 1-point conversion, game's done.
2:40 on the clock and rolling. We will have a stoppage for the 2-minute warning. And there's Beckett. Back to Reynolds.
Pass complete to number 14.
Ball spotted at the 13-yard line. It's a gain of 8. Caitlin Reynolds having her shoes tied so she can get back on the field. And out there on the field for the United States, Trishelle 2K. Tough as nails. Snapping the football. Haley Morgan. Caitlin Reynolds lined up to her left. Here's McKenna Cook checking her wristband. Moving into the formation, now in the backfield. They're going to run this play clock all the way down, it appears.
2-minute warning.
To the 2-minute warning. 27-25. The United States with the lead and the football. 120 seconds away from a gold medal at the 17U division.
All right, so we see Team USA, we kind of know at this point they want to run as much time down as they can, but that also means your coach feels confident in your ability to be able to pick up yardage as well when you decide to take this route.
Play resumes, bunch formation. They fan out. Beckett to 2K, makes the catch, and a penalty flag comes in from the far side judge. That'll be a contact penalty against the defense, it appears. And assuming that's the case, it'll be a 10-yard penalty and an automatic first down.
And that just absolutely kills you if your team Azteca right there. You're trying to get a stop as we go look at the replay right here.
First down.
Throws it over the middle to 2K. Yeah, that's a little bit of a tough call, but Cruz also, she got one of those earlier in the game as well. So that's tough.
So a fresh set of downs for the United States with 1:54 to play. 2K makes a grab and bowls over Ariana Herrera. I don't know if she lowered the shoulder or not.
That's certainly going to go against the USA, so it kind of gives Team Azteca back what they just lost from the previous play, and that's a loss of down. That's a huge play in the grand scheme of things when we look at this. Your Team Azteca, can you take advantage of this? Because now Team USA, after already getting the first down, they've now got to score a touchdown to make this work, and you've got a long way to go. This would be the equivalent of a 2nd and 30 in tackle football.
Backs them all the way up to their own 17-yard line.
Or really a 1st and goal from like the 30-yard line.
Yep. No doubt about it. The United States cannot earn another first down. So they'll have 3 plays as that one's batted down by Quintanar. She celebrates with Sahara Cruz. They've still got work to do, but Team Azteca has some momentum.
They got a cool little team defensive celebration they got going right there as well. That's a huge play. She just kept the arms up, didn't even have to jump. The low trajectory of that pass there by Beckett. But that was going to be a tough throw. She was looking for McKenna Cook that was running the dig over the middle, but she was bracketed, so that could have been a potential interception.
Here comes Quintanar again. What a pass from Beckett to Reynolds. Complete down to the 16-yard line.
All right, but you still got goal to go, Kyle. So if your Team Azteca right here, you like your odds of being able to get a stop. The drama is building.
2-point game, 27-25, the United States on top. They're facing a difficult task here, 4th and goal from the 16-yard line. 1:13 to play. Can they pull away for good? Beckett rifles it. Reynolds, diving grab, but short of the goal line. And it's a turnover on downs. Team Azteca.
Game of inches. Kyle Bailey, how about that? She makes the catch. I thought it was potentially a touchdown, but it is not. Man, have we set ourselves up for quite the finish. Here's the replay right there. Oh my goodness, so close. Great job by the defense right there, as that is a deep dig route over the middle. Man, a couple more inches forward, you're in the end zone.
Great
That's
effort
football.
from both Beckett and Reynolds. The ball's just short, and there's a completion to Camila Gomez on first down.
To the U.S., nothing cheap, nothing deep, and no penalties whatsoever.
45 seconds and rolling. Second down. Trujillo finds Gomez again, and a quick stop by Isla Collins, Tucson, Arizona native, at the 17-yard line. Third down coming up, approaching 34 seconds to play. Trujillo, a dart to Rico. Rico across midfield. Actually, they're going to stop her right on midfield, but it's a first down for Team Azteca.
Man, I'm getting a little anxious, Kaya. Heart starting to beat a little quicker, as if I'm out there playing right now. Got hurry up offense going. What more could you ask for to close out a championship game? Gold medal on the line.
Doesn't get much better than this, folks. Buckle up. From midfield, under 30 to play. Trujillo, 2K coming on strong. Another completion to the far sidelines of Valentina Rico.
Timeout.
And a timeout taken by Team Azteca.
Ooh, right there, if you're Azteca, you would have liked to have been able to save a timeout right there, because see it right there, she runs an in and out route. Man, if she could have just been able to get that ball out of bounds, I maybe would have. Oh, you can't dive. That's right, you can't dive in flag. So
for the United States, do a little bending without breaking. Trujillo on target to Manriquez, stays on her feet, steps out of bounds at the 5-yard line, stops the clock at 13 seconds.
And they got a plethora of team celebrations right there. That route over the middle, she gets it. I thought for a second she stayed in bounds and was about to run it in the end zone. Man, what do you do if you're Team USA here? I think I'm going to lock up and go man across the board and just trust my athletes.
We're about to find out. Trujillo to Kell in her face. To K. Doesn't matter. Touchdown Azteca.
With the penalty to boot as well. I think a little bit of contact on that reception.
It's going to go against the defense. Ariana Herrera looks to have scored the game winner for the 17U ladies from Mexico.
Wow.
And
wow. Man, the concentration there on the catches. We see snap a little bit high. Ooh, that dig route over the middle by Herrera, and she was not going to be denied. As you get a third view, you see the sideline right there. And here we go as they go for the conversion.
this will be a 2-point attempt because of the penalty. Trujillo again to the front corner of the end zone, cashes it in. 33-27. Azteca takes the lead late. Their first of the game.
Team USA football.
How about this? The United States led for over 39 minutes in this title game, but Azteca with a go-ahead touchdown and 2-point conversion. And now with 8 seconds on the clock, it's desperation time for the United States. What can they muster here?
Team Azteca in a cover 3 look.
Emory Beckett, quick hitter to Caitlin Reynolds. And a nice chunk out beyond the 15-yard line to the 17. It's a gain of a dozen.
I think I might try to get a quick hitter, maybe to get 4 to 5 yards and out of bounds. It's 5 seconds to go, and then I'm going to try to take my shot deep.
We've seen one successful Hail Mary out here already today from the boys' 15U Americans. The 17U girls set themselves up similarly.
All right, here we go.
And there it is, a quick completion again to Caitlin Reynolds just across midfield. The ball spotted at the Azteca 24-yard line.
I'm bunching it up to the right. I'm 2 quarterbacking it. I'm going to throw it over to my other quarterback if they don't bring a double rush. And I'm just going to try to throw it down the field into the end zone. See if we can recreate what we had at the end of the first half from 15U. And the key for the quarterback, put a playable ball. Do not, you talk about pet peeves of football, I hate when quarterbacks throw it out of the end zone.
Yep, no doubt about it.
You gotta heave it up and give guys a chance to make a play.
Well, and again, height length isn't everything in flag football. But the United States has a couple of playmakers out there in the way of Caitlin Reynolds and Haley Morgan and Trishelle Touquet. But you're looking at McKenna Cook out there right now, standing at 5'9", 5'10". Do you give her a chance to go up and try to just win that jump ball in the end zone?
That's why I bunch it up, and you know a player like her, that's what she lives for, moments like this. So I'm going to give her every opportunity. And if I'm Team Azteca, I'm rushing one and putting everybody in the end zone.
The United States hoping for a miracle for the ball game. Beckett looking for Cook.
Wow.
And she can't hang on.
Wow.
McKenna Cook clearly wanted a flag, but none appear, and Team Azteca, your 2026 17U Junior International Cup champions.